Greetings and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 6-Minute Daily, your daily weekday dose of news. That's right. Each and every weekday, we start at approximately the same time and finish up either in 6 minutes, 11 minutes, or probably an hour. It's hard to say. I mean, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes we go a little bit long with bonus time, but we always have great management here. Juliet's out there managing the day along with Jill and many other amazing wrenches. For those of you doing double duty because you're working over on Green Machine, thank you for that. And thanks to our wonderful friend Ruby Who for the membership. Look at this. Giving away green left and right. Thank you for the gifty, Ruby Hoove. We appreciate it. Say hi to Hoove for us. Hope he's doing all right. We got O.C. Dobbins all the way from the belly of the beast. Good morning, my friend. We saw Georgia Peach out there, Matt G, and many, many more. Let's say hi to T.Z. Burton, Ms. Pig Cafe, who has returned. We've been missing her. Cat Slave, of course, and my goodness, Crazy White Boy. Great to see you. We've got, Miss M. Hampton's in the house, the return. Good to see you, and many, many more. We've got lots of friends. I'm very excited. There's a lot of news out there. This Savannah Guthrie story is taking a not-so-great turn. We're going to get to that. That's part of today's news, amongst other things. We want to say hi to our favorite Polar Bar, Snortopipus Q Burr, who's saying hi to Commander Ed Straker, a Shadow. You guys are just all over the place. It's going to be a wonderful Wednesday, I hope. You are all in my prayers, and should be a good day. James Dotcher's out there, probably writing the next story, working on it for us. That's great. We got Texas 84 out there. Buenos dias. That's right. Good day a todos. That's right. Let's see. Again, thank you for returning, Mrs. Pig Cafe. You were certainly missed. Juliet, thank you for working as hard as you do. And I'm just blessed with a crazy number of high-quality wrenches, making sure we don't get in trouble. Lee Kindler, hello. Someone said DeMauro looks like related to Newsom. Yeah, I mean, he looks like one of the lizard people from V. I think that was a fairly accurate description. Let's see. Barry the Music Man's out there. Great to see you. For those of you who didn't know, you got early access, if you remember, to a video more than half a day in advance. So hopefully you got a chance to check that one out. We got a lot of extra videos. The videos are going to be fast and furious. I have been able to get into kind of a flow. We got the most talented man on the internet here with us today. That's right, Andy Masterson. You should check out his website. Good to see you. Ah, my goodness. As we get down to the last few seconds of the countdown, I just have to say, thanks for being here today. I was watching the Patrick Bet-David podcast this morning, and of all the business minds up there, it took them forever after I mentioned it in the chat for them to recognize that, oh, hey, this is all being driven by the institutional investors. So that's why the changes at Disney don't reflect any significant change, which we're going to talk about in just a few moments. So stick around, folks, because 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in. Let's talk about Wall Street greeting the Disney CEO news with a shrug, or how about under yawn? That would have been more appropriate. Shares remain the same 2022 levels, and as a company, they've fallen nearly 50% since their peak high under Bob Chapek. Ever wonder why that's the case? It's because they've got no way to move forward. They're stuck in old thinking. And as the protege of Iger, DeMauro wasn't a step up. It was a sidestep. And it also sidestepped the terrible decision to put Dana Walden, who's going to be paid more than the CEO, by the way, put her in a position she doesn't belong in because she is not a creative. We have to remember, putting non-creative people in creative roles, well, that gives you the results that you're getting over at Warner Brothers or most of the other studios. You don't want that. But Nelson Peltz accuses Iger of backing Josh DeMauro as CEO to retain power at Disney. Guess what? He's right. It's exactly right. This is the way you maintain a hand in the cookie jar that I'm telling you right now, Iger doesn't deserve. Revelatory information coming out of the recent Island Boy leaks are not flattering. for the Disney company or Bob Iger specifically. More will come out soon. We've got inside Disney's succession. Board Chair James Gorman talks about what was next and the fact that we're not going to have more than one CEO. There was never a real idea that would work, and the board unanimously went after Josh D'Amaro. Why? Easily managed by the powers that be, the institutional investors that are, well, essentially controlling the folks at Disney, which is why it sucks. Dana Walden's expanded oversight role into film isn't going to give us better films. In fact, it's going to remove maybe, some of the folks that they passed over. Bergman is probably the only reason that there are the occasional successful film at Disney. I wonder if that's going to remain true in the future. We've got Ted Sarandos trying to play defense to Congress. He got basically asked some very specific questions. And you know what? All of his answers were baloney sausage. This guy is forced into a lie or, to defend something that's indefensible. The idea of reducing the theatrical window and reducing competition, which is not good for the industry. Certainly not good for theaters. We've got TV ratings for the Grammys officially drawing only 14.4 million. This is why I did the video when I did it. I had the numbers early. We can talk about the decline in the final year of CBS, but that's not why it declined. Trevor Noah is the reason it declined, and many of the other laughable chuckleheads that are out there. You can go and check out that video today. In fact, you'll see a video about that today. We've got Disney setting pay for new CEO and the president, and it's not even close to right or correct. D'Amaro doesn't make as much money, upfront money. Dana does. And despite the fact that there's a small disparity in bonus compensation of 50%, they both have packages that will pay them immensely. And Dana Walden, again, if she lives in the same Brentwood neighborhood as Iger, maybe you can understand why she is even allowed to keep this particular gig. Hard to say any other reason, but TMZ received an alleged ransom note. No, they received a ransom note for Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, demanding millions in Bitcoin. Police taking all tips very seriously. This was more than a tip. This was a ransom note. But the police in Pima County, Arizona, were pissed off because TMZ released this publicly rather than going anywhere with it, like directly to the police. Savannah Guthrie pulls out of the NBC Winter Olympics coverage, so they're going to have to replace her because her mother remains missing. Well, we'll get into why and who and how that may have happened, but the FBI is now helping to investigate, including uncovering some people and institutions that may have been involved with the island boy that got caught up in all of this. Again, as of right now, she's still missing, but they have a suspect. Savannah Guthrie's brother-in-law. He was the last person to see mom Nancy before she vanished. And there are some reasons why they're looking at this guy, but maybe Tommaso Cioni isn't the guy. Hard to say, but I imagine that Savannah's a little, worried about her sister right now. The Washington Post has started their layoffs. We knew this was coming. It's happening. And, we saw it coming as journalism collapsed. Speaking of collapsing, PayPal replaces CEO Chris with HP's Lors. That's a backwards move, in my opinion. Speaking of things going backwards, PayPal may be going backwards, and they are now literally trying to compete head-to-head with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and many other digital payment systems. We've got the X offices raided in France. We talked a little bit about this last night over on WDW Pro's channel, and all of this is because of not the lies that AP is telling you, but it's for political control. The French do not like their business aired in public, and they don't want to hear people telling them they're terrible people, terrible governors. We've got the Small Business Association saying legal permanent residents are not going to be eligible for loan programs anymore starting March 1st. Too much fraud, amongst other things. In the face of aid cuts, the Gates Foundation is realigned its priorities just to global health because, well, the WHO is about to be done for. And California trucking schools that broke the law, they got away with it because regulators couldn't do anything about it, which is not true. Again, the AP is maybe just running cover for some ridiculous stories. Stick around, folks. We got a bear story coming up and a little bit of bonus time. So don't go anywhere. We're not done. Not done yet, anyway. All right. Well, Disney's Dole Duo is a disaster, no matter what anybody says. It didn't boost the stock price. It didn't, gin up excitement for anything Disney's doing. In fact, Disney's really, major downgrading Frontierland. They're down, especially in Florida specifically. Florida's a hot mess. What a disaster. You got all that land and opportunity. And even within the bounds of the theme park defined space in Florida, they had to tear out something that was a part of Walt. That wasn't good. That was pretty bad. And I think a lot of people are frustrated by that. I know I am. But I'm also excited to say thank you to Texas for the $5 super duper chat saying, Josh says he's bringing back um, classic elements. What does that even mean? Well, I mean, characters. There'll be characters. They're going to lean into the classic IPs that they still own for the time being that aren't moving into the public space as, they get closer and closer to their anniversary date where they go public domain. So I imagine that's kind of what he's talking about. Iger said on the way out the door that they would not be investing in new IP. I think he said that specifically because he does intend to control Josh specifically, and even Dana. Again, they take walks together in that Brentwood neighborhood in California. It's a cozy little club, and most people aren't in it. And when you see these folks hanging out together, for a fact that it's not all business, but it's not good business. First Dragon Queen drops a $5 super duper chat. Thank you. Excited. Today, my first monster is being returned to me. Hugs for all. That's amazing. And congratulations. I hope you enjoy your first monster. Thanks for popping in, dear. You're doing great work. I like the art. You're doing fun stuff. Let's get to the bear story so we can wrap up the normal news elements of the show. We'll take a look at the fact that multiple bear encounters are forcing U.S. troops to suddenly stop Arctic drills in northern Japan because they've been drilling for energy. Japan likes, energy. America likes energy. And as we move northward in the United States and we try to secure the Northwest Passage, we are at the same time exploring for more energy. We're doing the thing that needs to happen to make energy less expensive, which makes America more powerful and it makes things less expensive. Believe it or not, most of the cost of a lot of the goods that you get day to day are because of the former ridiculous price of the green garbage that got pushed through by AOC and her cohorts, and that drove the energy prices to the moon. You're not paying more for energy because it costs more to take the sun in and convert it to energy. No. You're paying more because we're not getting oil. You cannot run an entire economy on the Green Deal. You just can't. And guess what? European nations are learning that as well. Germany went as far as to destroy their economic engine and their industry, which was foolish. Anyway, you're going to see a lot more bear attacks, I would imagine. And again, people monitoring how to deal with bears. They're blaming it on the drilling, but that's not really what's happening. Scarcity of food is more the conversation here, but it's a different way to look at it so you can make it political. And again, whether or not you're the AP, you're always looking to tell a narrative, not the truth. Truth is hard to find, folks. You have to go looking for it. It's not hiding, but it's hard to find. Narrative's easy to find and craft and everything else. And no, I know it's talking about, military drills, not oil drilling. Oh, okay. I misread the entire headline and the crux of the beginning of the story. Thank you, my friend. But we have been drilling in the Arctic and we've been bringing in energy. So well done. Thank you for correcting me. Embarrassing. There's more context there deeper in the story. Yikes. Thank you, Cat Slave, for that. That would make more sense about, running away from the bears, but we have been drilling in the Arctic. So there's that. Anyway, wow. Steaks and Funeral says, drill, baby, drill. Indeed. All right. What else is happening in the world? And that's why truth is hard to find, guys. Sorry, I misled you there. I'm glad I was corrected. Unlike the mainstream, I'll take correction. I had to do a little bit of correction this morning on PBD's podcast. I was surprised that they weren't more informed on what was really governing the selection of Damaro for Disney's position. But I'm often not 100% right, but they had one person on the panel decide to take my point that was in the chat and convert it into a conversation piece, and they did a fine job. You'll see that happens sometimes on those shows. The guys will read something, scroll by in the chat, and go, "Oh yeah, that makes more sense." Yeah, and then I kind of pointed. They were already moving on, unfortunately, but I kind of pointed to the fact that recall that when Disney was in bed with China, they had a board member from Nike that was running Disney at the top level in the boardroom. The guy that was running Nike was in their board. So wild stuff. According to Catslave, I might enjoy this. School in Washington State locked down because one of the staff saw a cougar. Turned out to be a house cat. Yeah, there's a size differential there. Or maybe it was just an attractive young lady in her mid 40s. You don't know. Oh, it's crazy stuff, but it's okay. It's okay. We got no more news. I keep looking because I'm expecting more news on the Guthrie case to show up. I feel really bad for Savannah to have her mom just be abducted. And there's no doubt about that. Ransom note and all of that. I know that law enforcement is tightly following every single lead and keeping an eye on people that they assume are suspects. So Cole Hauser appreciated the cougar joke. I bet you Cole Hauser knows a lot of cougars. I'm just saying. Cole Hauser is one of those guys, that ladies are chasing him all the time. Anyway, the cougar is in the inside of the school. Oh, okay. Preying on male students. That's probably true. One of the teachers. I love it. You guys are so fun. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Daniel L. Pounds hit there. Too true. What option do we really have at this point? What are we looking at? Bears attacking oil rigs would be scary. I think it'd be fun. But again, I'm telling you, nobody's going to stop drilling. I mean, that's the thing that nobody's being honest about. You can drill enormous amounts of foundations and fill them full of rebar and fill them full of cement to hold up giant windmills. You can do all of that all day long. But the amount of energy that you burn, does that make up for what the results are? I don't know. I mean, one of the great speeches this year came out of Landman, and Billy Bob's character talking very specifically about the fact that, you never replace the deficit you created to make that power that way. So it's an interesting argument. Cole Hauser says we had a cougar bar here where the women outnumbered the men 12-1 on a Wednesday night. Yeah, ladies' nights are always interesting, I'm sure. Snakes, I got the same problem. The cougars are way younger than me. Of course, you're never going to find me in a place like that, right? So it's not my scene, not my crowd. Oh, I love it, you guys. I love it. Yeah, the truck learning centers, I think, are the weird thing, right? The driver's license situation. They just didn't govern it. It's pretty easy to control. You require, birth certificates. You realize that to get a driver's license, you kind of have to prove things. Why would California not have people proving things? Why would they just trust me, bro, on that? You know what you can't trust me, bro, on? Getting on an airplane. You can't trust me, bro, through the airport. You're going to be tracked. In fact, they're making that so strict now. They're trying to force that new ID, the real ID bologna sausage. I'm thinking, I have a passport. There's no more real ID than that. You know, what's even more interesting is Seba over on X reminded me that when Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos was testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee, that he basically insinuated that Superman 25 sucked and underperformed. Guess who's been saying that for a while? I'm just saying. Daniel says he's going to go attend the premiere of Hoppers in New York on February 28th. Is it bad that I'm willing to give it? No, it's not bad at all. I want to hear what you honestly think about it. You have to remember everything that leaked early about that movie 2 years ago didn't sound good, safe, or free of the bologna sausage messaging that's been inserted and everything. And that some of the people that were working on it had indicated that's an allegory for changing from one thing to another. We'll see if that ultimately was true or if they have elemental and fundamental changes to that film. Regardless, it's really just a retelling of Dr. Dolittle, but changing into this mechanical robotic beaver creature that the animals accept as one of their own. I think they're going to have a hard time. I think the storytelling isn't going to translate as easily as they want it to, but please let me know what you think. And by the way, you can actually, everybody here can actually access an early preview of this. I believe I talked about it in a video not that long ago. You can access this film early, starting in at the end of February. You can actually sign up. There's an article that has a link to the signups from that Park Place. I think maybe it was. I was going to say it was Trevor that wrote it, but it may be somebody else that wrote the article. But anyway, go there, click on the link, and you can buy your tickets in advance for an early screening a week before the film was actually supposed to release. So there's that. Trying to see, guys. I'm just trying to stay up to speed on what's going on with the Guthrie stuff. So that way, I'm we get the most up to the date news. It's crazy. I mean, the ties to the Island Boy stuff from the large investors involved in Savannah Guthrie's husband's company, all kinds of things. It's just absolutely wild. Our good friend, irate specialist in the house with two Culture Casino cash says, "Hail culture and culturians." Thank you, friend. Thank you. Hey, Morgan King's in the house. Good to see you. I'm not really sure where to send you or if I'm sending you anywhere this morning. I don't know who's live. I don't know what's going on with Marvin's schedule. I'm not sure who follows me today. I'm gonna go spelunking right now to see where I can send you when I'm done. We are growing like a weed. We're closing in on 43,000 subscribers, folks. We're trying to get to 50K. I'm pushing hard. You guys are helping. But once we hit that 50K threshold, things could change for the better, especially for me. And if you haven't checked out today's video, please go and do so. Only 366 views so far, but lots of engagement, 43 comments so far. We also dropped a CBS News video last night, 790 views. So, guys, we need to get those totals up. So share the stream and the videos and share the dream. Lots of news out there. Trevor Noah in big trouble. Yeah, that's being kind about it. And we've got more coming out in video form later today. All right, well, let's take a look at our live videos. Just bear with me a moment. I know, I'm trying to not create dead air while I do this, but I got to be able to move you someplace else. So, does that Park Place start now? Let's see that. Oops. That Park Place. Do they still do Wednesday? The Great Disney Dash starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. Okay, well, there we go. That's where we go next. All right, let's keep scanning for more on Samantha Guthrie. Talk a little bit about free speech. And the UK government's about to try to define what Islamophobia is, so that they can restrict criticism of that particular religion. Why would they do that? They don't do that with any other religion. Why? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You're not protecting Christians. I mean, you're protecting them getting, spoken negatively about, maybe even attacked. I mean, the UK government's pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. I'm still reading, guys. Let's see. Yeah, Washington Post, again, those layoffs are going to hit hard. They continue to be announced as we speak. Elon Musk has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for protecting free speech. We better enshrine that in all Western countries before we lose it. But yeah, TMZ is now reporting that Guthrie's brother-in-law may be the prime suspect. Wow. Insanity. Wow. There's some news suggesting that it's possible that the EU had some undue influence over 8 European elections. That news is breaking this morning. I wonder how they would go about doing that. And Starmer essentially got his butt kicked earlier today after he admitted that he knew that Mendelsohn, the shamed MP, was a close friend of the island boy before he actually appointed him as U.S. ambassador. Not a lot of great news out there, guys. Sorry. It is what it is. Even the Disney news is kind of dour. The good news is the rise of independent studios and film is only growing. We're watching that in real time. Justine Bateman and her efforts, working with Film Threat and many others, may create a path forward. Yeah, this is true, William Schweikert. While Elon's put up for the Nobel Peace Prize, Paris police want to put him in jail. Right, for exactly the same reason. They're saying, well, it's because, you can create images. I'm like, yeah, so did painters. Go walk around in your art galleries, you douchebags. Anyway. Mastasina Akikta. Welcome. Okay, well, we all want to save the world. There you go. Daniel, I hope you would go and enjoy the film. Look, you and I both have this love of animation. You more so than me, and saying, I guess all we can do is see what tomorrow has got and give him a fair chance. I pray that this will be the beginning of a new, better chapter for Disney, God willing. Well, my friends, I don't think so. I think meet the new boss, same as the old boss, is probably the most likely scenario. Nothing changes. The people above him are the same. The people below him are the same. And essentially, Dana Walden's been made an equal to him. It's not good. Easter Sunday's in the house. Good to see you. Says, I left a comment on Pro's page yesterday, and it's why specifically Disney is failing. The problem is that the hero's journey story arc is anathema to feminism. Yeah, it promotes male empowerment. Well, I mean, since primarily the heroes were there, you can work within a feminine storyline that has the same kind of elements as the hero's journey. You can do it. It's been done before. And it's just they look, they lack creativity, they lack ability. They don't know how to translate it without, adding their feminism, their feminist messaging. And I think well, I'll give you an example, like Brave, right? Brave has only a few elements that I found later that were somewhat objectionable. But see, again, that was upon a later viewing. Once the world had shifted, I would say that we as an audience probably became more aware of the wheels turning in Hollywood to destroy what came before, because that's what it was. I mean, you had all these movements working at the same time. Hashtag Me Too, hashtag Times Up, and that was happening on both coasts. You had obviously the worst Ghostbusters ever made, but 2015 was the year where everything kind of pivoted. And the problem with all of this is what few films come out that have a genuine hero's journey and is somewhat more structurally relevant to the things that were successful in the past. They're going to be few and far between for a while, because until somebody definitively proves that you can't do this to storytelling, they're going to keep allowing people to try. Kathleen Kennedy was the worst thing to happen for the world's largest IP, Star Wars. There was a period of time that Star Wars competed with Nintendo and Mario stuff, but Nintendo just overperformed, because I don't want to say that Marvel and Star Wars and all these other major IPs gave up, but they kind of did, because they wanted to pivot away from having, heroic men. Well, unfortunately, in order to win things, you have to have heroic men. You have to get all of the audience. I mean, you just do. And again, you can have a successful story about a heroine. Lara Croft would be an example of that. Early on, they used Lara Croft very effectively, crossing Indiana Jones with Pitfall and other things. It went from being a game to some kind of an element of pop culture that became a decent first film. Second film wasn't awful, but they had the perfect actress for the time, which was Angelina Jolie. So, and she had broad appeal to both male and female. They don't have that anymore. It's like what they're doing right now, which they don't understand how they're breaking storytelling when they deviate from the historic references that they use. If you want to speak to what's happening with Homer's epic, The Odyssey, and the fact that Nolan obviously is being driven by the idea that he might win an Oscar for it, he cast people that wouldn't have been representative of what existed at the time. This is a guy that sips his coffee at the corner of one of the corners of the 19 blocks of Hollywood, and the world around him reflects a forced multiculturalism that really doesn't exist, or is it takes a lot of forced effort to make exist, and that's just not the way the world works. So, but we've been like I said, they've been trying to force this for a long time, many moons. So, but that is a great comment. Thank you, Easter Sunday. I have to take a look for that comment and see what Pro responded. We've got, let's see, the Shiro's journey is why Disney is indeed failing. Yeah, that's why. I want good old heroes movies. Funny enough, I have been watching older series and movies. So is most everybody else, my friend. And it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us or finding us. I haven't seen your name here before. Perhaps you went under a different moniker. But I'll just say that this is exactly what happened to Disney. And look, they lost the best storyteller they had. They forced out. Who was the original creative CEO, creative director for all of Disney, John Lasseter. Lasseter understood the hero's journey from both a male and a female perspective. They don't have anybody else that knows that. And one of those people that definitely don't know that is Kamala Harris's best friend, Dana Walden, who is politically compromised in a way I don't think and that people fully realize. Take a look at some of the organizations that she belongs to, and then watch the crossover between her and Aunt Willow, Bob Iger's wife, Willow Bay. You don't remember her? Anyway, by the way, talk about an in the office romance. Iger, the weatherman, and Willow Bay, the supposed correspondent, reporter, whatever words you want to use with her. Tis what it is. Read by nature. Good to see you. Happy that you're here today, my friend. Katsy says, last evening there was a bright light on the roof of the house across the street. I was startled. Thought it might have been a problem, but it was just the moon. Oh, yeah. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Yeah. Look at all these great people in the chat. Sorry, I'm way behind. Helen of Detroit. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Low spec Linux Gaming weighing in there. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Helen of Troy is now Helen of Detroit. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. And it's not just that role. I mean, can you imagine they put Zendaya as Athena? I mean, a certain amount of Mediterranean culture at the time would have had slightly darker skin tones. But I'm going to tell you, the role out there that awaits Zendaya is C-3PO. She makes a great C-3PO. Michael Cooley says the obvious. ABC is a money pit. Yeah, they really, really are. The View is trying to avoid culpability and avoid accountability. And I think it's really funny the way that Whoopi has reacted to changing political tides around her and in media. And it's official. Savannah Guthrie's brother-in-law may be the prime suspect. So we'll keep that up. It's funny. A lot of people have been passing around an image of Caitlin Collins and calling her a political activist rather than a reporter. I'm not going to argue with that point of view. The good news is that NBC is moving to protect everybody that works for them with security and extending some of those items, I believe, also to family members so that this doesn't happen again. Kind of sad. I hope she's okay. For Savannah and her family's sake, for sure. And her own sake as well. But yeah, Starmer looks like he's in big trouble. What is this? Is this real? Is this happening in real time? Because one of my news warnings went off. There was a U.S. senator, a district attorney who exposed Israeli human smuggling ring found dead in her home. I'm not going to assume any foul play, but that's just weird news. French prosecutors have issued summons for Elon Musk. They demand him to testify in a French court regarding Grok and the ability to make bikini pics. They're going to have to get all the all the AI art generators in there, because it's not just him doing it. And by the way, you can do that on Adobe Photoshop, Canva, all kinds of stuff. And of course, we know why they're doing it. They're trying to shut down X. Man, the French are just scumbags. They've already succumbed to globalism and China. I mean, Canada's collapsing. Sorry, my Canadian friends. I apologize. Your economy's in tatters. Crazy stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to keep up with the news. Nobody's ever going to trust Harry Levin anymore from TMZ. Nobody's ever going to trust the NFL anymore. We're coming up on Super Bowl weekend, guys. Are you going to watch? You going to watch? You going to watch the halftime show, or are you going to watch TP USA's halftime show? Or are you just going to watch TP USA's halftime show? I'm curious. Somebody released the script for the Super Bowl. I actually commented on this on X yesterday. I said, bookmark it, because if that's what comes to pass, it's more confirming evidence that the NFL might have shenanigans going on. Cosmic Book News wrote a story I'm going to go grab. Maybe I'll do a video on it later, that James Gunn's Superman was name dropped in the Netflix Senate hearing as underperforming. I think we talked about that a little while ago. I think that's being kind. Do you think that senators and Congress people should be held liable for defamation when they're making statements to the press at a microphone or on a pulpit? Do you think they should be liable for that? Or is that just me? Nolan is an idiot. Yeah, for sure. Zendaya doesn't have the kind of range to play C-3PO. Of course she does. I thought she was auditioning for that part at the premiere for Dune. The second movie, Dune 2, the massive shift in the hero's journey for Paul Muad'Dib. Oh my God. We're in a weird place, folks. But I'm going to pray for you all. I am every day. Michael Cooley. Surrender Monkeys. Yeah, that would be the French, right? Everybody knows who we're talking about. Parsecs out there. What's going on? As a non-UK European, I say one thing: Amelia is a godsend. Indeed. And for all my friends who live in Europe, first of all, thanks for being here, because I know, this is probably the middle or later part of your day. So I appreciate the support, and I appreciate all of you showing up on Tuesdays and Thursdays over on Mr. H's reviews channel for the HCast, where we talk pop culture, movies, and entertainment in a way that you're not going to hear it elsewhere, with the contacts that Mr. H has, and some of the stories that Nick from Echo Base hears, and some of the things that I glean from, the Disney Corporation and stuff. We usually do cover news in a way and with more information than some other places do. So Davina's like, has the Super Bowl Super Ben. that wasn't telling at all. Been rigged already? Somebody suggested. I'm not saying it. Not going to watch the NFL all until they stop bending the knee. Quite literally. Quite literally. Fear the Fear the Crab Cat. That's a great name. I hope Cole Hauser's out there still. Good to see you, brother. That guy is something cool. Something cool. That's why he's always surrounded by ladies too. He's wow, look at that. This guy's a chick magnet, literally. Anyway. Zen Wookie, not watching Super Bowl and haven't cared about the NFL in years. Don't care for college football anymore either because of the name image license thing. I hate it. I think that was the worst step. It's funny because I've been doing this now for 6 years, and one of the more recent conversations that I had, or the last one where I made an appearance to hang out with Dadman Walking on his channel, we talked about NIL and how it would destroy college football and why. The minute that you create an incentive, it's the same reason the Olympics suck now. These people are it's a for money game. That's a problem. NIL is just a for money game. They're gonna start reaching down into high schools now if they haven't already. What do you think all these travel teams are for, guys? On every level sport, it's insane. And what's weird is, and this one, I have a little reach into this particular area because of family, but these kids in high school and even before, these 10, 12-year-old kids, it's not just Olympic coaching anymore. You're getting professional level pitching coaches for baseball. They're working with these kids. You have hitting instruction. Organizations that used to be scouting organizations are now promoting these kids and training these kids. Yeah, it never goes well. Just a waste of space in the house. Yes. Lawmakers should be held liable. I agree. I think if you're going to step to the mic and tell a lie like Ted Lieu did, you should be you should be sued into the ground. And this is the big problem, right? Is the Obama taking the teeth out of the Smith-Mundt Act. That never should have happened. A lot of the stuff that they've gotten away with the last few years would not have been able to happen. Freedom of press isn't freedom from responsibility. Again, when I make a mistake, I apologize, like I did with the bear coverage this morning. But I hold myself accountable as much as you guys do. And I was instead of, reading everything all the way through on that one, I jumped on the story because the headline and the initial offerings were great. It's my fault. It's always a lesson I learn every day. Read the entire thing. Don't rush to judgment. Same thing is why I don't give film reviews without seeing the film. I'll tell you what my opinion is, what my expectation is, and I'll judge it from there. I'll give you my thoughts about a trailer. But if I'm not seeing the film or I haven't seen the film, I'm not going to give you a full review. I can't. I haven't seen it. It's not fair. So oftentimes I feel like, though, some creatives feel forced into doing something like that and to have a knee-jerk reaction that maybe something doesn't deserve. So, hey, Evie Dave, Corgi, good to see you. I think everyday Corgi. I like that too. Parsecs in the house. All right, what else we got? Sorry, guys, I'm not perfect. I don't think any of us are, and I think that's something we strive for every day, but got to be thankful. And, of course, Penny's here. Everybody say hi to Penny. Penny is one of those people that just is reliable as a Swiss watch and just a lovely human. So thank you, Penny. Trying to catch up with you guys. I'm 4 minutes behind. The NFL is the no fun league. Barry, you are correct. Who else is out there? Look at all these amazing people. We got new names in the chat. Thank you for joining the channel. If you haven't joined the channel or not subscribed, hit the red subscribe button down below. Turn it from red to gray. It'll tell you subscribed. And then hit that little bell icon so you don't miss anything. Turn on all notifications. And look, if you're a member of the channel, check your notification bell up at the top. Sometimes there's a number up there. And if there is, click on it, see what has happened in the last little bit that you may have missed while you were watching other videos, because that's where new posts and stuff like that will warn you about other videos that have just popped up. So there's that. Hey, Walter, what's going on, buddy? Says CC, I hope the audio cables I've sent you work. Let me know if you have any problems with them. I will check them out, my friend. And thank you. By the way, the P.O. box, I need to make sure that we get stopped by there again today so that, I can empty anything that we've got. We've got a couple of packages that I need to open. I'm going to do that live on the stream, probably on Friday. Friday might be package day. So if you're here on the 6 Minute Daily, we might be incorporating that into bonus time. So, but we've gotten through 17 news stories today, technically 18, and I'm still monitoring the situation with Savannah Guthrie. Ellen's moving back to the United States. You guys see that? She picked up a home in the U.S. Because the UK was too hard to live in there. Bought a $27 million mansion in California. And, well, I guess that was a short-lived exit from the country. So her and her wife will return. By the way, in some of the files that were released from Island Boy himself refers to Diddy as his competition. Holy cow. Oh, no. Crazy stuff. That's right. Go check out Dr. Jill Powers over on her channel. Hey, Lauren's bald spot's in the house. Please tell Lauren to admit he is bald already. He's not. He's not. I'm not part of any conspiracy because that's usually where you go, my friend. But Lauren's non-AI bald spot for $1.99 wants me to say this. Hey, look, I can't. The guy's got hair. I mean, he doesn't have hair like I do, but I mean, not a lot of people do, male or female. I'm a Wookiee, basically. I mean, not literally, but Adam's in the house coming from, it looks like maybe the NYC thing. So Bob Iger is out as the next contestant. Oh boy. On the new episode of The Island. No wonder he was released early from the House of Mouse Madness. Yeah. We talked a little bit about this. I've been trying to allude to it for several months that he's not free of tarnishment. And look, I was challenged on my ideas that perhaps maybe the consulting contract might be canceled early, that he had negotiated on his exit package before his most recent contract, because he does have a version of a morality clause in there that could cause him a struggle if more were to come out beyond, obviously, the things that are only partially linked to the company that happened during his tenure. Like the cruise line used to visit regularly in the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Bart. And from St. Bart, you would take a launch to Little St. James to do snorkeling adventures and stuff. So, yeah, lots to talk about. But that's just one of the ways. There's many other ways out there. It's also why I usually, in recent thumbnails or stingers that I make for other people, I've been including a picture of the mansion that was on that island in the background when I put Iger there. So, William says, Culture, you may not be perfect, but your beard is. Well, thank you, William. Much appreciated. Yeah. You have to sing the Blues Clues mail song when you open packages. I would if I felt comfortable with it. There are some songs I'm comfortable with, and as I get older, my voice gets rougher. I need to get back to practicing. People have been trying to get me to do, what do you call it, karaoke again. I'm like, I'm not doing it on my channel, but maybe on somebody else's. Yeah, until Bob ain't out. He's not out. You know what? This is a good point, Skibo. He basically has a reign. He's basically got the reins of the company. And this is the biggest problem is we can pretend And Gorman can pretend that Iger's not there and he's not flexing some kind of control, but he is. He is. It's hair piracy, I tell you. Bologna sausage. I love it. You guys are great. Tarnishment. Yeah, why not? I make up words on the fly. Why not? Hey, Pro's allowed to do it. Why can't I do it? Ellen had a difficult time being hypocritically mean to people abroad. Yeah, well, it's easier here, right, Michael Cooley? Good to see you. Chapik must be enjoying the lack of attention from anybody. Yeah, you know what? He got paid. His payday was amazing. Look, you can put in a lot of time at Disney. And usually you're tripped up about 35 to 40 years in. They find a way to trip you up. They've gotten rid of people before. They've found things in their background, but they only become important to the company when, one, they look like they're going to hurt the company, and two, you're old. They want to kick your butt out the door. So let's be honest. Disney is sitting at 108.29, so they did bounce back a little. Thank you, me and my monkey. Me and my monkey. I'm going to say, I'm not going to give market advice. I don't give stock advice. I think that's bad. I'm not going to walk around like the Mad Money guy who was going to tell you to get, what was it, Bear Steers? So. I'm not going to do anything like that. Look, most of those talking heads are talking out of both sides of their faces. So there's that. At least I try to look at things and analyze stuff. John, the Beagle Dad's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Hope the Beagle's doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's cold in Florida. That's right. All my friends down there are saying that. Perfectly lovely day yesterday in my neck of the woods. So there's that. We do have a Discord here. So if you want to communicate with each other or even me sometimes, go check out the Discord. You can join up and get access to a lot of people like the mods who, they really do control things. I don't know if people realize that. I'm about out of coffee, folks. That's bad signs. Bad signs indeed. Is pro Rob Carson? Not that I'm aware of. Shut up and fight. That's a pretty cool name. Shut up and fight. I think that's would be good for a video game. It'd be a great tagline for a video game. Is pro Rob Carson? No. I know pro. So no. And I wouldn't tell you who he was. Let's just be fair. I take very good care of my friends. Yeah. CC, read my SC yet, your super chat. Let's take a look. I'm going to go spelunking for super dupers. If it was about the cables, I think I got there. Was it this one? I've never understood how Warner Brothers. Oh no, I didn't get to this one. Self-destructed. I don't know either. To be fair, Zaslav was on the right path. That was back when John Malone wielded a lot more power. It looks like John Malone is pulled back even from his own Liberty Media endeavors. They were really moving and grooving. I think that last payday for Malone was going to be Warner Brothers. Building that up over 2 years, getting past the threshold date from the Reverse Morris Trust where they spun it out of AT&T. I think Malone wanted to get to that period of time and then call it a day. I mean, he's a billionaire. Guy's got plenty of money. His organizations are worth it tons. And when you cash out, you want to cash out on a high. Selling Warner Brothers Discovery as a package deal was going to be a high. Right now, it's overly complicated because Zaslav wanted 2 paydays. He wanted payday number 1 to be being able to spin off Global Networks, which is everything that isn't Warner Brothers proper, and then sell that off to somebody else or break it into pieces. Again, the old-fashioned corporate raiders, I don't know where they went, but right now is the time that if they came back, they would be making bank left and right because they'd be like, okay, we're going to buy you. Your pieces are worth more than you are as a whole, so we're going to break you up into pieces and sell those pieces off. That's what the Gordon Gekko model was. If you go back and you watch the original Wall Street, At least that's what it alluded to. But that was really going on in that era. So when I was going to school, we talked at length about how oftentimes that was profitable, but it's short sighted. Entire industries could disappear if you had that practice. Well, that's Hollywood's already disappearing. They've all imploded. It's not just Warner Brothers, but they self destructed based on the fact that again, they did not Elon Musk the situation. Elon Musk acquired Twitter and got rid of 85% of the people there. Bye bye. He got rid of the problems at leadership levels. He got rid of the board of director people that were also standing in his way. He got rid of a lot of folks that were detrimental to the operation of business because they all had their hands out either had their hands out, had their hands in the pocket of somebody that was there, or had their hands in the cookie jar and just hadn't been caught yet. So that's how Warner Brothers self-destructed. Zaslav came in, had the right ideas, started to move things in the right direction. Put people in positions of power that he thought would be beneficial. Boy, did he miss on Gunn. But his instinct turned him immediately back to Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, who have held the film division to a higher standard and seem to be riding herd over Zaslav and Gunn and Safran at Warner Brothers at their DC branch. DC was a cash cow. How do you kill a cash cow? Well, you let Zack Snyder run it into the ground, and then you release a series of movies that are destined to be flops, and then you have your new studio head saying, this is the greatest movie ever made, and Flash is complete dog duty. And then you follow it up with Creature Commandos, which, basically just put on display between Peacemaker and that, put on display the perversions that Gunn's into, maybe his family members are into. It's the same problem that they have with Filoni Baloney over at Disney. These vapid degenerates get involved in stuff, and you're going to get fetish fest all over the place, and that's what's happening. Wow, did I say that out loud? Fetish fest. Anyway, it's just I'm unhinged today. I'm just going to speak from like the top of my head. That's dangerous, but that's truly what's happened. I mean, if you take a look at it, I mean, you're never going to not get something that has Ahsoka in it or some other Twi'lek in it, because that's where Filoni lives. That's where his wife lives. And she's a, certified worshiper of evil. So I wonder where he lies. Not really. But he can stand up in front of a room full of women. Oh my God, a powerful woman. And if you go find the nitwit thing, it's out there on YouTube somewhere. I think I did like a video clip on it, but women in technology or something he was speaking to, where he sounded like a maroon cartoon with the hero's journey. Anyway. But Warner Brothers and Disney parallel each other in that way. It's why the departure is going to be Paramount Skydance. I think that over there, the Ellisons have recognized the folly that is any follower of J.J. Abrams, which in this case was Kurtzman. Kurtzman, you can tell for sure, he never should have lost his partnership with Orsi. Orsi was the guy that kind of kept things on the rails. There, K&O Paper was responsible for a lot of great things, including the first Now You See Me movie, but many things that they wrote together, even in television. They were probably combined, the two of them together could have built up something similar to what Jerry Bruckheimer did. And, Kurtzman going out on his own and becoming, advocate, sycophant of JJ and, preaching, JJ's wife's philosophy, which is actually what happened. That's what you get. It's the same thing that happened with Nolan and Joy. They went from making one of the best seasons of television ever with Westworld to feminist disaster in 1 year. They blew it up. They blew up the success of Westworld in favor of powerful single female narrative. Kathleen Kennedy style. Look, all of this can be pointed towards a direction in Hollywood that, went after feelings and not after fun. That's not fun. And it's also not financially beneficial. My goodness, I got to shut up. Rate Specialist sends a $2 super duper chat to say, hail, culture and culture. And hail to you, my friend. Lorne's non-AI bald spot for another $2 says, tell Lauren to admit. Oh, wait, I already got that one. And Elle is here. Good morning, Elle. Hope you're doing well. Saying, Warner Brothers is stuck between a rock and a hard place. I agree with you. Scylla and Corinne, if you know the original reference. They can go with the company which gave us Academy, or with the company who thinks the audience is dumb. Well, I think Academy, again, a little bit of defense, and I know they don't deserve it, but Skydance Paramount inherited that trash and the contracts associated with it. They didn't necessarily put together. So I know that's pretty defensive. It's just, I know some of the things that are greenlit on the horizon and some of the things that are on the horizon that have me more hopeful. It's weird, but you have to think, technically Netflix went from being a physical media company to being a tech company. They made a successful transition. Bob Iger was trying to become a tech company. You have to remember, all you have to do is go back to the beta testing for Magic Bands and the new FastPass system and everything else. All you have to do is go back to 2013 and look at the analysis on that side of the equation and the financials and every statement during a financial quarterly that Iger was making at the time, and that they were trying to pivot Disney from being just an entertainment company. They wanted it to be a tech company. And he misrepresented multiple times to shareholders that they had been or were or have been becoming that or were a tech company. That's not truthful. If anything, Disney Minus has been a tremendous failure. One of the reasons they stopped releasing subscription numbers is because for Disney Minus, they were going the wrong way. And the only thing that bailed them out, as we've explained multiple times on Pro or That Park Place, was Hulu. The Hulu, them acquiring Fox had a lot to do with acquiring the other pieces of Hulu. Disney was slowly acquiring other companies to acquire the technology to build the streaming services more resiliently. But one of the things they didn't do is buy out any infrastructure. They should have, which is why Comcast can have, Peacock. And that thing is, just kind of gravy for Comcast because they own the infrastructure upon which it runs. One of these days, these guys are going to have to invest in a cloud company or acquire one or partner with something. Like I said, it's a much bigger conversation we could certainly have. But thank you, Elle, for the $5 super duper chat, and I can talk at length about some of the things I think that are foolhardy. Disney's been foolhardy. Lots of companies have been foolhardy. I've never seen more in my life. There's Justin Proper. He's a good guy. Go check him out. Some of the archives or some of the old videos, he's got to still have it up on his channel. Go check out all those old videos. If you ever want to have fun and revisit some of the early conversations that we had about some of these events that were happening that created the world we're in now, I think a great repository of that is Justin Proper. He's also a really funny guy. Real smart kid. Skibo in the house saying, yeah, today even the wind chill is above zero. Been a while for that. Yikes sauce. Okay, y'all trying to get me to go north? Nuh-uh. The farthest north I'm going is where I'm moving to. I'm relocating to Tennessee here. Hopefully the end of this year, but definitely by the end of 2027. And I haven't found the perfect land house combination, and I need to buy something that I'm not going to have building restrictions on, where the zoning is loose, to say the least, because I intend to have some temporary residences there, because I also intend to have sound stages there, along with regular studios there, and people can come and stay and make their projects, and on a different part of the land. So I'm looking for 20-ish acres or so. Anyway, for what it's worth. Teddy, what's up, Teddy? Teddy D. Thank you for the amazing and generous super duper chat for 20. Is that right? 20 Culture Casino Cash? No, is it more than that? Yeah, no, it's 20. 20 Culture Casino Cash saying, good morning, culture and culturians. Good day to everybody. Well, it's a great day, my friend, and thank you for being here and joining us this morning for a few moments. Oh, man, so we're doing good. We're doing good. New York heat wave, 27 degrees. I'm sorry, Shadow Seeker OG. I'm sorry. Yikes. Okay, look. Morgan King wants me to move to Canada. I'm like, no. No, it's cold. You don't think Steve tells me how cold it is up there all the time? You know, I got friends in Canada. Hobo Gandalf Tower. Hey, why not? We should probably try to build one of those. Like I say, I have to be a much bigger YouTube channel. Yeah, we're getting deep into the pockets as it is, just relocating. So, yeah, yeah. You go to New York? Nuh-uh. I have family up there too, upstate New York. No. Thank you, Jill. You're doing a great job in the chat. Thank you, love. And Ms. Pick Cafe is great. And thank you, Miss Pick Cafe, for dropping the Discord server in the chats. So you guys are crushing it. Carlos Alfredo Lopez in the chat, and so is Randall Orser. Take off, eh? It's good to see you guys up there. Ah, man, what a great day. Look, I got to get off stage because we got more people showing up. So you're going to get an automagic redirect over to That Park Place for That Park Place Live. And I think you're probably going to be interested because they're going to be talking about this Disney thing too. I think it's impossible to escape. I think we're going to be trapped here for a while. PBD talked about it this morning. I feel bad because the guy that they brought in has some knowledge, but they weren't looking at it from the broadest possible range. They really needed to look at it from who does this financially benefit to keep Disney stuck in this pocket of BS. And it's the same people that benefit from doing that to Warner Brothers. And I have to say I was not impressed with Sarandos talking to the Judiciary Committee a couple days ago. So there's that. 6 more weeks for New York. LOL 3 for the South and West. Well, I mean, Puxatawny Phil did not do y'all any favors on Groundhog Day. That's right. But you said you are moving to Alberta this year. Oh, I'm going to tell you what. Alberta would be great. Can you imagine? Alberta is going to be one of the best American territories in the future. Probably true. All right, I got to get out of here. I love y'all. I really do. Thank you truly to the new visitors here. Double check you accidentally subscribed as well. If not, just hit the button and turn the notifications on so you don't miss anything. If you haven't hit the like button already, please do so. I think on the way out the door, we'll get a little bit of a hobo Gandalf dance. Maybe a Wilt Ned. We'll see. Let's go. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Until next time, we'll see you.
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to CultureCasino yet?
Well, no.
Friggin'
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.